see, testing my microphone. Hold on, gotta get my Skype up and going. I just saw Richard is in game. Actually, it looked like it was Kinga. Richard's amazing child. Well, one of them. Oh, good. Skype wants to install a whole new version. Awesome. If you saw, I put on there Sannio, Chris, and Plumber. That's because, hey, John Marcus, thank you very much. I will begin. I actually was thinking of songs, what songs I should sing. I've got a good one here I'm going to do. It's signed out. Hold on. Thank you, John Marcus. Oh, come on. So annoying. Well, that's why I got on a few minutes earlier. Oh, the hype train's already here. Man, I gotta go turn that. I saw some numbers and I turned them. I must have turned them the wrong way to make it easier for you guys to hype. Such a early hype train. Hurley? It's a character on Lost, right? And the dog will bark because there's a plumber working right behind me outside the door, not inside. Bear with me here. Trying to get... Oh, and you can hear that buzz. Hey, there it is. We have, we built our house. I'll tell my story. I think I can do that. Hey, there we go. Now I got this working. Let's see. I'll see if that guy's ready to talk yet. But we built our house, and we were trying to build in a neighborhood. This is like 15 years ago. I know you guys love story time. They changed the floodplain, and so a bunch of lots got put together. So we got what was called like an estate lot, but it's really just because there's floodplains that made them combine a couple lots, which is always good when you build your house right by a floodplain, right? They gave us a bigger lot because of that, and we pushed our house further off the road, but they didn't know what they were doing, despite being a $1 billion builder. And so the slant wasn't enough for our sewage line to get from our house to the street sewer line. So they had to install something, which when they told me about it, immediately made me go, ooh, and it will make you go, ooh, as well. They had to install a grinder pump for our sewage. Don't ask what's going to be grinding up, but it failed about 2 years ago. It went fine for like 13 or 14 years and failed about 2 years ago. But I have a plumber here. Let me get Sannio going there. He should be on. Now I should be able to hear him. Can I hear you?
Yeah, I was waiting.
All right, so I should be able to get you on. Yeah, I'm already on and live. Whoa, Lancel. Thank you, Lancel. Thank you. I got lots of people to thank here in a little while. But anyways. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just kicked them off. Oh. Hold on. Add. Let's see. We'll try this again.
Hello. Are we live?
We are live. They can hear you but not see you currently.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm adding multiple people.
Oh.
Trying to add rival. There we go. I forgot how that silly thing works where if I accept his, it kicks me off. But anyways, the grinder pump for our house went out, which means our sewer could overflow. Kind of something you got to deal with even if it's stream time. But Fortunately, I've got these guys here to help me, which if I can capture display... There we go.
Yay!
Oh,
Who's
they're
this
already...
guy?
I think our settings are too low or too easy for our thing. Hold on, my brain's not working. When it starts the numbers, my brain not working. The hype train stuff.
Oh, do we have control of that?
I think there's control of it. I saw that the other day and I changed it, but I must have changed it to make it too easy or something. But I always like to be nice to them, so they feel like they get something there. But anyways, now it's easy enough that like the first 2 people cheered, like John Marcus, like cheered 1337 to make me sing a song and resubscribe, and it's like hype train before anybody's on the stream. So I probably need to go change that and make it a little hard to get started or harder to get started. But anyways, the short version of the story is I have a plumber here, so I have these guys here to help me get through the stream today because I'm going to have to take some breaks from the stream.
Don't forget to share the questions definitely before you leave as well, before you have to...
Oh, absolutely, yeah. What are they on now?
Because I'm sure there are a bunch of questions that were there before I even logged in.
Well, I have a question for you guys. Oh, I don't have the question bot up yet, so that'd probably help too. I'm sure they're yelling about that in the chat, and I'm ignoring them. And it's probably going to require I go validate it or whatever. You guys can pull stuff out of the chat if you see anything while I get this going.
So I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Keith Quinn. I'm Sannio on the forums, and I do level design and quest design, player-owned town implementation, and stuff like that in the game. There you go. Pass the baton to Rick.
All right. Hi there. I'm Rick Elgarian Hart and community manager for Shroud of the Avatar.
Let's see now.
And what do you do besides that?
A lot of miscellaneous stuff.
And it all
Does
goes off
everything.
in artifacts.
Yeah.
Getting some loot, adding some loot.
Yep. Doing a lot of the loot stuff lately. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I posted a screen grab of it in our team chat, but that's this morning when I logged on, checking to see how things were going, testing things out. People are like, oh, the shrines, those new artifact things, those new things you added, they work perfect. And I was like, yeah, those are 100% Elgarion. And then they were like, oh, that's why they work.
Oh, snap.
Haters.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on, I think I can get you guys a little bit better here. Let's see if I do that, and then I take this thing. Yeah, there we go.
Elgarion, you are a champion, loving the new loot and recipes. Yes, he is a champion.
It's weird. I'm not seeing chat in Twitch. Let me try again.
Yep, it's there.
All right.
There's a little, do you have it like flipped close?
No, I'm watching it from the community channel, so it's not seeing the chat. I messed up. There we go. Sorry about that.
Let's see. They look pretty slick. Gonna make nice deco buffs or not? Oh wait, do the buffs not work on them?
Let's see, let's do.
Now, I have a question for you guys that you guys can probably tell me in like 5 seconds and yell at me. Oh wait, except I only published the patch out late. I missed one step in the patch publish. If you're saying, well, you should have something that warns you about that and make it idiot-proof, this idiot can work around any idiot-proof stuff. There were thumbs pointing at me. But yeah, it did warn me, and I apparently missed the warning that I was not doing a step. But anyways, it's all live now. It's all good. But I was going to ask if the AFK thing was fixed. I went AFK down here and got booted, but I think it's because I was AFK and creatures were attacking me, which makes me spend experience points, because the new AFK should be, it won't boot you unless you gain experience points or apply experience points.
I was on before. Travis and I were doing a little mini team play test thing, and I got booted, and I was wondering why, but maybe I actually was close enough to get hit by somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe I auto killed a wolf, but yeah, that's possible.
Did you get booted? I see Versago says I got booted. Did you get booted on 1340? Hopefully not. So I did test it. I did move everything. I did make myself a non-dev and try the other version to test it. And I set in a local version, I set the timeout timer to like 2 minutes so I could test it. So all that stuff worked. But again, it's one of those things that's really annoying to test. And the first one was at least a dev versus non-dev thing. But
I'd like to suggest that maybe Rick, you could sort of share the special phrase and all that business so players.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat there. So the special phrase, I see a lot of people doing it in Universal, is 2021's gonna rock.
Yeah.
And that's gonna, Gonna. And the prizes, oh great, you guys get to hear my cat hacking up a hairball. That's just wonderful.
Awesome.
It's pet day today.
Oh, wonderful. Right behind me. Great.
Just spin that chair that's next to you so it blocks it.
And the prizes are gondola water decoration, a center stone 2-tier outdoor pedestal fountain, silver telescope, a golden eagle decoration pet, and a round elven greenhouse. And you can either say catch that phrase in chat or purchase something on the web add-on store.
I forgot to introduce myself. I am Chris Spears. I do lots of stuff on the project as well, including break lots of stuff and forget to hit one last button to publish builds. Frequently forget patch notes. This time I did the patch notes but didn't actually release the builds. That's my job, to find some way to mess it up. I also do, we're here, I guess today we should be talking about new stuff in the release, which I was just looking. The overall, this is, again, I did a lot of optimization work for those who haven't seen our 2020 vision. Let me re-emphasize, we believe the 2020 or 2021 vision is where we should be going for at least a while, which is rather than focusing on cramming in new features, we're going to be polishing some stuff, we're going to be adding some new content, but it'll mostly be map stuff. But a lot of our focus is going to be on polish bug fixing for at least a little while. This release, a good chunk of my time was spent on performance, and I'm looking at the performance. Today's the first full day I can see numbers where I know it's all good. And our median frame rate throughout the entire game, all scenes, went from 44.707 to 49.247. That's actually not as much as I was hoping, but that's one of those things it's tough to say exact frame rates. It'll vary in different areas, but it should be hopefully noticeably better. Hopefully a little less hitchy, but generally FPS is up, which makes me excited. I see Dart and Obscure just asked a question about VR. So I'd actually put the VR stuff, again, we get a lot of, anytime we try to work on anything that isn't what specific people want, they believe we should be working on other things and not wasting our time on things, and a lot of times it's working on bugs and polish and stuff like that. I'd put the VR aside for a little while, but partially because the computer I'm on right now, this is another thing I should probably warn you about, is the computer I'm on right now has been having stability problems for the last month or two. It does not appear to be a heat thing, does not appear to be anything specific other than the only thing I can really track down is the motherboard. It's not an OS problem before you start with the Windows sucks stuff. It's actually rebooted sometimes, and it'll reboot, get to the BIOS, and a reboot again while it's in the BIOS, and do that like 2 or 3 times in the BIOS. That's not an OS thing. That is a motherboard or power supply, except I already switched out my power supply. But I was kind of waiting. That actually, doing the builds the last couple times I tried to do the VR builds, it rebooted my computer. But I have everything except for the CPU for a new box ready to go. So hopefully next week the CPU will arrive. It's supposed to arrive next week. And I can get back to working on VR stuff. But yes, VR. I'm still excited about it and still have tried around a little bit here. I haven't had any time in the last week or two, but pew, pew, pew. No, I'm not going to support those controllers. I might, but only button mapping to stuff. All right, you guys ready to talk about the build and stuff? Trying to see what the fish
absolutely. This was a good one. This is best release ever.
Yeah it is.
Hey, I was told that because I saw LB in chat, Universal chat, saying that Kinga, is that the name of his daughter? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
is going to be running around as his character. But then Laney had mentioned to me that he'd possibly be on the stream today doing ONBs, or is that some other week?
No, this has been a rough, we've declared that 2020 does not end until the end of January 2021. February, for this year alone, for 2021, February is actually the first month of the year. We've already pushed January back into 2020. We had a team member who lost a close personal family member and is dealing with that was going to be involved with the stream, so we postponed that. So that is not this weekend. I think that's been rescheduled for 2 weeks from now. Let me see. Yes, that's the 12th of February. February. So 2 weeks from today. We will be doing that. We will be having an ONBE thing. We will be having Richard and Star both on the stream, I believe. Not sure who else. I was actually just talking to Richard about some stuff, so I don't think we'll get him on the stream. He's like super busy now. I think he's had to, for those who don't know, Tracy Hickman, author of the Dragonlance stuff, just put out a bunch of announcements that he's doing more Dragonlance stuff. But he also did a book for us, which is what I was exchanging emails with him about. But he was doing Void VR stuff, speaking of VR. But I think they may have had to pivot a little bit just because the whole pandemic thing. I can't imagine any better way to transmit diseases than putting on a bunch of headgear and controllers and backpacks and all that stuff. So I don't know for sure, but I expect all that stuff's on hold for a little while until that works out. Tina, yes, the lawsuits, that was kind of, he was hush-hush about it. There were some lawsuits going on between him and publishers. But yeah, the lawsuits settled. I don't know what the outcome was, but sounded like it was probably good for Tracy and probably good for both parties if he's getting to write another book. So, but yes, Tracy will be writing some more Dragonlance stuff. I think they announced 3 classic Dragonlance books, which is awesome.
I want to give a little follow-up mention that if Kinga is playing as Lord British in the game, everyone should keep in mind that she's a kid, so make sure you behave on the best levels.
Oh, yeah, yes, please.
The little kid.
Waldo, you're saying scalpers have my CPU? You're right, Waldo. The CPU I'm getting is a AMD 5900X, and it's like crazy back-ordered. And you can get them now if you want to pay extra. I refuse to pay extra just as a matter of principle, though. So I actually ordered and waiting for the order to arrive. But yeah, scalpers do have my CPU. They're all buying out all the CPUs because they're so in high demand. But it's going to be awesome. All right. First, I'm going to go thank some people here before we get too far past. Let's see. The completed Hype Train Level 2, but let me get back to things here. Vic Cannon, Mandalar, thank you. Mandalar, 5 times, thank you. John Marcus, thank you a ton of different ways. Mandalar, some more. Vic Cannon, some more. Waldo Ptolemy, Wolfton, thank you. Treasure Pile, still one of my favorite names. Radicus 2K, Zythar, Vic Cannon, Dr. Himbrand, Waldo, Coswald, Durinson, Bodie, Lancel, thank you. Very generous, Lancel. Sean Paxlair, always generous. Waldo, Aaron Doom, Dark and Obscuro, Mandalar, and Skeggy Media, thank you for the raid. Dices, thank you, and again, John Marcus, and also Cam Stormlin, thank you for the follow 23 minutes ago. I think that had to be right at the start of the stream when I logged on. All right, there, I got that out of the way. I will be singing a song as I've been doing lately. I save it for the out. Once I pick somebody to raid, I'll sing the song then. I'm thinking Billy Joel, just warning you guys.
Piano Man.
You want to do Piano Man? I'm sure they'd love to hear you sing Piano Man.
Oh, me? No. Hey, are we going to go through like what the updates were?
Sure, you want to go over that stuff? Give a quick coverage of that? I'm looking for the question stuff to make sure I've got that. I don't think there's that many titles or questions in just because I got things started late. There we go. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to do the first one because that should either be List Rostov or Sannio going through it, and that is the new adventure scene, The Well of Aldur.
Where I am right now.
Yeah, what do you got to say about that one, Sannio? That's a beaut, I tell you.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do I need to say more?
It turned out pretty darn well.
So, Well of Alder is a high-level scene in our Episode 2 Mistrender area. There's 3 continents in that new area. Islands in that area. And the rightmost, the eastern island, if you go to the north area of the eastern island, it's like a big flat snow plains. It's kind of like in there, sort of in the top center of there. Anyway, the original intent, and we may go back to this later, was that it was what we call a nested scene. So to get to this scene, you'd have to be in another scene first. But we did the scenes out of order. So we just have like an access point where you can get to there from the overworld via balloon, allegedly, ostensibly. Anyway, so when you get up here, there is a character near the entrance, a scholar. You can talk to him. He's sort of like full of himself a little bit. And then you can wander around and you can learn some of the mysteries. There's multiple Easter eggs in here, and some people have asked me, like, how does this thing work, or what's this? This guy mentions this. Like, I'm not telling you what the answers are. People will find it, and then once you figure out what it is, it'll just be cake to sort of redo it again and again. So I want to at least give someone that opportunity to be the person who figures it out first. Figures each of them out first. There is backstory built in. One of the quests that the scholar has is he has you go do something, then as a result, he will give you these pages that sort of hint at what could be the backstory. Whether he is scribing the correct information could be argued that maybe he's not really that good at it. But anyway, that's there is a little bit of backstory here as well. We have. Obviously, it's a pretty cool, mysterious-looking place. If you don't know, you can just jump off the side and see what happens. Chris, if you want to do that, do that. Just jump. Woo!
Oh.
That's actually a pretty good escape strategy, too, when you're on some of those other fighting platform
So what we have
things.
is... if anyone's been on the Jack of Diamonds, it's a little bit like that. Jack of Diamonds is an airship mini scene. So if you jump off any one of these floating islands here, which are floating, far above the land, there's mechanically it's a safety net where you hit a teleporter and eventually you sort of get pushed back to the starting point of that island. And but this is actually sort of like part of the premise of Well of Alder and why everything's sort of floating potentially. And the 2 NPCs in here that are currently here, they will hint at it a little bit. But more of that stuff will come as the main plot line gets fleshed out and runs through here. But it's not just a mechanic; it's actually part of the backstory. There's questions popping up. So we have one of the moving platforms. B Striker 2 says one of the moving platforms would not move last night. How do we get it unstuck? You should submit a bug, and I would look into it. But I'll talk about the platforms that they're talking about.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that. I didn't get any details on it. It sounded like for the person I heard about, there's a decent chance it was somebody came in, started the platform, and then the person who had started the platform left. I'm not sure how there could be a bug like that we wouldn't have seen in other scenes, but it's possible.
Yeah.
But that's definitely one thing to try for it. And I've got to go check on my my raw sewage outside.
Exciting.
So I'm going to let you keep talking about this.
I can ramble on for a long time.
Okay, ramble on. I'll leave it with a decent view here.
Fix my pointing. All right, so the way these platforms work, Chris right now, he is on a bridge, and there's some bridges that at the start to get you from one island to another. But deeper in, there's no bridges. There's a different way to get across to the next island. You will get to like this platform that right on the edge of the platform, right past the edge, is a floating little mini rock that you can stand on top of. I can hear my dog. It's my dog Hero. He's excited about it. I don't think he's going to stop. Anyway, the platforms, they are not on by default. When you come to, you first come up to what I'll call the near side of this elevator path. I say elevator, but really it's a sideways walk. Behind the scenes, the corner is called elevator. So if you try to use it, nothing will work. What you need to get is an alderite crystal cluster from one of the ore nodes in the area. My dog, perfect time for him to bark. So if you get one of these crystals, you slot it up into the mover mechanism, and then you turn the wheel, and then the things move into place, and that forces the mover to actually begin moving back and forth. And it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. By the way, the secret, if you log out in this scene and then you come back in deeper in the scene, the return trip, at the far end, you don't have to find a crystal. So there's like a sphere instead of a cluster, and you can just turn it on. So anyone who logs in the deeper end, they don't get in trouble because of being further in the scene. I assume it's super loud.
Hey, Hero! I'm surprised Mojito isn't barking too.
Yeah. I forgot what the question was. So the platform not moving, I'm going to assume that it wasn't moving, not because you couldn't figure out to get that crystal cluster that you need to put there. In particular, because Chris mentioned that, someone else mentioned to him, or maybe it was you who mentioned to him that it just sort of turned off. So our scenes have this concept of like the first person who logs in is the master, and if they leave that scene, and somebody, the master baton gets passed to somebody else. But maybe when that happens, sometimes there's like a little hiccup, and some things that should be just sort of like automatically continuing don't. So that's a theory without investigating anything yet. That could be going on.
And just to be clear, in case there's any questions out there, the state data all gets stored on the server. All that stuff gets stored, but the master is the one who will do things like his client's the one that's responsible for moving things that move like on a timer and some other stuff like that. And look, what moves on a timer?
Wave battles too. Like if the master leaves in the middle of a wave battle, then the wave battle doesn't just reset; it just keeps going because it's smart enough to know that they're halfway through. Let's just keep going. Control point, same thing. Just keeps going. It doesn't. There's no hiccup. So I mentioned wave battles. We have two wave battles. One's a really big one, and one is just sort of for fun. The one for fun is the furthest point in this scene, which is the Wyvern battles. It was super frantic and crazy at first, a little too crazy. They toned down a little bit, I think, in already or soon. But the big battle is the one where you fight a few waves of elementals, and then eventually you fight a Sutak, a master of Tempest. and that's a pretty good fight. There's a sort of a custom look for that boss, that air elemental boss. There's some special gimmicks going on in that platform where we have like these lightning environmental hazards and some special stuff that Chris put in even after the main battle went in. So Chris would have to talk about that stuff, if he wants to.
Yeah, and again, this is really Travis's or Lis Rostov's baby. He did all the stuff in here. Sannio came in and added story stuff afterwards. I came and did a little pass on the battle on the air elemental side, trying to make it not just a stand and pound type fight of who's got the highest air resistance and can do the most damage. So the thing I added was trying to add a strategy for this, because I hate adding stuff where it's just like, let me just turn up the number. I at least want to have something that makes people think, keeps you from just standing still on a rock or whatever. Make it a little more interesting. For this one, I tried doing something. My first thought was I'll do one that is make people concentrate on their focus, see what they can do without focus, and have it a focus drain thing, which I mentioned that on the team channel. It's like, hey guys, I'm going to do a drain focus. And I forget what Travis's comment was, but it was like, translation short version was, no, that sucks. So having a just drain focus to make people conscious about focus is what this might appear to be. If you're over here and the first time you're there, is it may just appear that it's just going to drain your focus to nothing. But it actually, there's ways to get it. There's a trick to get around it, so you can actually get your focus, wipe out the focus drain that's on this island. So I won't tell you what the trick is. I'm sure some people have figured it out, though. Yeah, focus drain sucks. Yes, that's why I put in something so you can get around it, actually, which I will not discuss on the stream. I'm sure somebody's figured it out, but it's not that hard once you figure it out. And that's kind of what I want, is I want to have things where once you figure it out, it's like, oh, this is like 10 times easier once I figure out what the trick is. But that's what this platform is here. It is, and of course I'm in God mode, so I don't die here. But if you look, there's an Alderite energy drain right there that's minus 50 or focus a second. That for most people would probably be a significant drain. Look at the dead bodies here. This is nice. Looks like people just want to get off this platform as quick as they can. It looks like Baragon's using me to tank for him while he waits for the platform to come back. But that is actually one of the things that's kind of neat about this too, is the timed, you're forced to stay here with these timed platforms. Come on, let's get on. Oh.
Yeah, you can't just sort of run away because there's a bridge or a door or a wall you can hide behind.
Yeah.
You gotta commit a little bit.
But anyways, I will tell you that there is, yes, the focus drain thing over there sucks, but there is a pretty easy trick to get around it. Will probably make it a little bit easier. So keep an eye out. Oh, great. Oh, no. Oh, if only I had a Ring of the Frog can. Okay, I'm going to cheat as a GM. Yeah.
You gotta be careful when you slew Chris, because those are elevators, and if you slew while you're in an elevator field, you'll get locked.
Oh.
You'll have to exit the scene and come back.
Good to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of times when we world builders will mess ourselves up because we don't realize that we're doing our little testing tricks.
But anyways, each of these things has some strategies to them. These air elementals, I think I'm going to be doing some tuning on them. I think they're a little too resistant to magic right now, and they're highly, highly resistant to physical damage. It's actually not that they're resistant to physical damage, but you can see what's coming up on my screen, although I think I am like level 20 or something like that. This is my playthrough character that I completely wiped, that I'm supposed to be playing through with these guys on Fridays. So I will be ahead quite a bit. But you can see he's dodging most of my hits. And he has a crazy high dex, so if you have a high dex, you'll do much better against this guy. Or if you debuff his dex, you'll do much better against him. And I think you can see over there is the next platform. Looks like quite a few people have died here. You can see the next platform over there. Looks like there's some Wyvern action going on. Do you guys have more you want to talk about here, or we can just leave it at that? I love these air elementals because they're kind of hard to see with the glow and the white stuff, but you can always see the arrows sticking in them.
So I'll mention, you pointed out the Wyverns. We have new higher tier Wyverns that are being introduced in this scene. So I mentioned there's like a little wave battle. It's nothing too complicated. It's just sort of there's some basic Wyverns at first and a couple of tougher ones. And then after you defeat several of them, you will draw out like a higher tier. So normally Wyverns are just tier 10, but we introduced tier 14, 15 in this scene. So kind of exciting to have like a new creature.
And you want to take a guess what the first questions that came up were relating to Wyverns?
Can you tame them?
Can you tame them? When can I tame them?
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Not
Jesus
yet.
set those up, so I guess he would be the master of that decision.
Yeah, I'll look at them and make sure. I forget, do we already have the highest tier Wyverns who already have Wyvern tamed pets that are equivalent to the others? Because if not, then we do need to get a Wyvern that's equivalent to the Obsidian level or whatever we want to call the highest level guys.
Wyverns are tameable? Like even the tier 10 ones? I thought it was just the baby dragons, but no,
yeah, I guess you're right. It's only the baby dragons.
Zeno says the Wyverns are lesser than nightmares and spiders. Okay, so maybe...
No, 15 Wyverns. Wyverns and dragons stop at 79. Yeah, so we do need to get that fixed. We do need to get the Wyverns, those guys up to... I may have to go here for a second. Have to get them up to tier 15. I'll let you guys talk some more here. I'll go talk to this guy.
There.
All right, so there's a couple of Alder, unless you have something, Rick, do you need to do anything?
I guess I can comment a little bit on the loot.
Or is Prize Bot, did we do that yet?
Not yet. I don't see one up yet. Are you want to do prizes? Okay, let's do that. You going? You want me to do it?
You can do it, yeah.
All right. So we've got the gondola water decoration goes to Bubba Grimm. Congratulations. The Cenarius Stone 2-tier outdoor pedestal fountain goes to Darkline. The silver telescope goes to Mika Oda. The golden eagle decoration pet goes to Sammy. And the round elven greenhouse goes to Galorn Hammerthrow, the Westminster Hammerthrows.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yes, so the loot in Aldor, and keep in mind as time goes on, we'll continue to keep adding a lot of loot to a lot of existing scenes to include probably more of an emphasis on episode 2 scenes. So starting off, all I added was things related to the Shrines of Attunement, and most specifically the items related to the Thurgy and Tempestry shrines for air and water, and there's some water elementals in the Well of Alder as well. So Sutak, he was a master of the elements, is that what he was?
She, yeah.
She, okay. And so she can drop Sutak's Bluster, which is a powerful air magic artifact, like an offhand. So now we have one offhand for every school of magic that kind of are similar in terms of stats and stuff like that. Just different attunements. Some of them have some variances though. And speaking of those variances, a lot of the artifacts had some tweaks to put them a little bit more in line with each other, or give more emphasis to another artifact if they had 2 attunements on them, as an example. And then, of course, the Frozen Tier Titans, which a lot of them are going to be dropping more regularly, by the way, because I know you guys would be looking for them. So I put them into more loot tables, like common versions of the artifacts. So things like water elementals, ice elementals, sand elementals, lava elementals, earth elementals, all those type of things. You'll have small chances to get the common versions of those offhand artifacts on those. And then, of course, big boss monsters have a much better chance. And you've got good old Sutak's Bluster. Of course, you have a really good chance of getting it from him as well. And, of course, you have decorations. The recipes are scattered around as well in various scenes and on creatures you would expect to find them on. One deviation, of course, is the recipe for the Shrine of Thaumaturgy for life magic. I figured let's make that one a little easier to find, just because it's a really good entry level artifacts. But people might initially want to bump up their life magic just to stay alive. So Elven Mages now have a small chance to get Onks of Sacrifice, common versions, and the recipe for it is actually just in crates. So to make the shrine. So that wouldn't be too bad to, track that down. Just to get newer players started and get their first shrine right off the bat.
And we owe them 4 prizings. I've already done one. I'm doing the second one now. But since it's already 4:37, I vote we just do all 4 of them and read them off at like 4:45.
Oh, cool.
Goes quicker.
I did one already.
Did you read it off?
Well, we read the first.
Oh, you read the first one off? Okay. Well, the second one's done in just a second. There's the second one. All right. Well, we'll do that one and then 2 more here. Bam. Kicking those off. But don't read them. They go quicker if you do like multiples at a time.
Okay.
Save time for questions.
In the meantime, I'll answer some more questions.
Okay.
The Mad Chef of Xenos asks, was the culture behind the Well of Alderseed more technologically advanced than kobolds? That probably left up for debate. I'm inclined to say probably, but it's probably one of those things where like maybe in many ways they were, maybe in some ways they weren't. Obviously they use the stone and mortar and stuff for their buildings. It wasn't some composite metal plastic combination. I don't know, but of course, advanced wise, they somehow figured out how to use some of these crystals to make things move through the air, and kobolds are still based in steam technology. So it's probably sort of maybe a bit of a balance. But in my mind, I think maybe overall, I think they're a little bit more advanced than kobolds. And then Mad Chef also asks, is Alderite the in-game lore explanation for floating player deco? Probably not.
Hey, I'm going to rapid fire through some questions here. We got the next three prizes have been drawn, but we can save those for a minute. I just want to rapid fire through it. But Bonsai28 asks, who had the first Terralopolis? I'm not sure. Sannio, you might know. Is that the official first one? Was that...
I have to look. I'll look that up while you get to another question.
I think Pax Lair, maybe? Or was there one before that?
Well, Pax Lair was really recent, so...
Okay, there was a Terralopolis before then. People... I think there's a couple of people that when the Lord of the Isles went on... Or the Lord of the Isles went on sale, that some people spotted the trick of it's actually... You get like a pretty cheap Lord of the Isle if you discount the city thing in it, because they come with a city upgrade from one level to the next. So I think that may have been the first one in there, but I know that there were 2 recently that just turned into Terralopolises. That was actually a little bit of the incentive for me to go in and work on performance with a focus on pots, is try to get some of those big pots better performing.
Yeah, Meridian was the one that was starting to be processed today to be Terralopolis, and then Pax Lair was, I think, earlier this week.
I think Pax Lair was first, yeah.
Okay, so we hadn't had one up until then. Okay.
Well, they're both within the same release, so from a technical standpoint.
So who was first? Yeah.
But I think Pax Lair squeezed in first.
I think Pax Lair was just ahead. Here's one for you, Sannio. Can we get a Jack of Diamonds equivalent for the folks with positive virtues? Why do you like the negative virtue people?
I was actually talking to Ravlox the other day, and I was saying that I had a loose plan early on that there would actually be 6 mini virtue related scenes. So Jack of Diamonds was the negative truth one. There would be a floating magician's wizard's tower. That would be the positive truth. There'd be some sort of mercenary one that would be related to courage, and some other ones like some sort of monastery or something for love. So I had a loose idea for the other ones, but they weren't. They're not fleshed out yet.
All right. So it sounds.
I still have in mind that I might go back. I haven't canceled that concept. It's just low on the priority.
Alphane also says one of the fragile plaques is bugged out. I think he says one of the fragile plagues, but
How is it bugged? I would need to know the borked is the correct term, I guess. So I need to know the location of it. So if you can send me location coordinates, then I'll take a look at it and let me know what it is. So like you can't click on it or resets too early or whatever.
Scooby-Doo asks, Sannio, how do you stop the focus drain on the water elemental platform? That was actually my doing. And I will tell you, I don't know what it could be. If only there was something there that could energize you to counteract that. Some form of energy to charge you up. I'm sure somebody's figured it out and shared it, but if they haven't, that may mean it's bugged. But I have tested it, and I think I saw other people on the team test it as well. So let's see. We didn't get a 2020 Christmas tree. I'm pretty sure you guys did get a 2020 Christmas tree, didn't they?
Rick, do you know?
I'm gonna look at Rick Elgarion.
No, I don't think we did a 2020 Christmas tree. I believe it was 20. I think it was stockings and gift boxes. I think
Candles? Did we do something with the candles?
Oh, there was a new menorah and there was a Kwanzaa centerpiece for the table.
Yeah, we should always try and get those things. I know there's a lot of people that like the sets and all that stuff. Well, I'll tell you one of the first, one of the things Richard's famous for, I'm not sure if he's on the stream, is he in the chat, but one of the things he's famous for is for throwing amazing parties in real life. One of the first parties that he had after getting to know Richard was a Christmas in July, I think is what it was called. This is in real life, telling the obligatory Richard story. He brought in like trucks of ice and they made like snow hills and stuff like that in July in Austin. I think that was for his birthday. It's been a while since that, but maybe we can do that. Maybe we can have a Christmas in July theme for Richard's birthday and put out the 2020 Christmas tree in July. Or technically we're still in January, which is still 2020 because we pushed that back to 2020 and 2021 doesn't start until February, so maybe we can still do it. But yeah, we don't want to break up your pattern, your collection, so we'll try and get one of those in. Let's see.
The Mad Chef also asks about Alder. Was the culture that built the Well of Alder composed of a people who still exist in the world today, or a possible lost or hidden new race? They're not a new race, but the people who built it. I mean, there's some backstory that you'll find out as you adventure in the game, but the people who lived in this community obviously don't exist anymore because this whole place is like wrecked and it's ancient, so they're not around anymore. As to what happened to them, you'll have to sort of decide for yourself after you read some of the backstory that comes up.
Oh, and thank you, Dinharu and Stymie Long Live the Syndicate and Sean Lair, Willie Beans, thank you for the resub. Aeolus Edara, thank you, and Eileen Dragonfire. Do you have a party thing going on we should tell people about, Eileen? I didn't notice. Is that in the chat somewhere? Did we announce that for her? Bork? I see her say Bork.
She just posted something.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't see an event posted on the forums. Not really.
Yes, The Beat of Novi, an electronic dance, hip-hop, industrial show on Avatar's Radio, is broadcasting out of Immortal City tonight at Blaze Garcink's Ice Castle from 8 midnight CST. Oops, I gotta go to the thing. I'll let you guys take over for a minute. I gotta go talk to the plumber.
All right, I got a couple other questions that popped up, unrelated to Well of Alder. What's the hidden door? So, Dursiras Modi? I'm probably saying it wrong. Sorry about butchering it. What's the hidden door on the floor of the north corner of the Lost Brothers Palace in Elysium? It actually shouldn't be there. I wasn't aware of it. I think it was made because a lot of times when we make a building or collect a building from where we get it from, like the Unity store, then we like to put hidden doors in there. You know, like in panel. Usually it is a door. It's not a panel on the ground. I didn't realize that was there. It should be active. The way somebody deactivated it in a way that probably still shows up as a door, but it shouldn't. So I'll probably go in and fix that. Vulcan Jedi asks, how did you manage to break the boats to enter island pods? I don't know what that means. If there's something broken, let me know.
Yeah, I've got clarification. All the little boats that get you into island POTs are gone from the overworld.
From which overworld? Novia?
Yeah, I'm not sure which. He just said overworld.
I'll take a look.
Okay.
And then Gwendolyn Obscuro asks, were the Aether Dragons left in Northwest Blackblade Mountains on purpose? No, that was an accident. If they're still there, they should be removed. So I will also make a little JIRA for my to-do list and remove those as well.
Beast Striker, I just spotted this one in chat, asks, may we have a fire ring type potion on the Kodo store that we can use on dance floors? Only have it last much longer, like 2 hours or so. So I did look at that fire potion that we had that I think we gave out as like a login or a one of the live stream rewards back in the day, and it's got buffs associated to it. So that particular one, since it's consumable, it could end up in loot maybe, but a non-buff providing version of things like that, they give you like a VFX and stuff. We could put those on the store because we don't want to do like a pay-to-win type feature on the store. So yes and yes, maybe one with buffs and then one with, for loot or crafting, who knows. And maybe I can take the buffs off, strip them out, and then add it to the store so you guys have VFX, and then I'll start adding in more VFX ones when I get into that grind. That's already in my to-do list, though.
Gravity 42 said the boats to pots are actually invisible. If you mouse over where they're supposed to be and interact, they do work. So something's wrong with the visibility of it. Every once in a while, for the past few months, we've been getting this weird little hiccup with some visible things, objects, where the material is not read right and produces an error, and then something goes wrong with the material. Usually it goes pink, but maybe there's something related to that in this case. So we'll take a look.
What did I miss?
Nothing, just answering more questions.
All right.
Plus a cat. Move to a chair.
Cat aggro.
Let's see. Vulcan Jedi says, how did you manage to break the boats to enter island pots?
Yeah, we just were talking about that.
Okay.
We don't know the details. It sounds like maybe on one or all of the overworlds, the boats to access pots are invisible but functional. So I'm not really sure what that is, so I'll have to look into it.
Well, Irish Size says they're able to see them. So
somebody can see us,
maybe.
Can.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some specific repro cases there. I did a lot of performance work. I don't think that could have broke anything. If there was something that's invisible, then that might be me, because that could be a culling thing or LOD mess up, but I don't think so.
But it sounds like they're right next to it, though. So usually that should be fine. Like some distance check shouldn't really be a factor, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
And then some things that'll get fixed really quick soon is somebody mentioned Vexlin's Spark not being able to be picked up as a deco. That's just a collision layer thing. I'll get that fixed on Monday. Somebody said POT, the shrines, new shrines wouldn't work in a POT. I'll test that too to make sure. Pretty sure I enabled them for it. Fix Ankh's to display new effects. So that is the Ankh of Sacrifice, the Ankh of Walla. You'll notice on the shrine they have some glowiness, but that never got applied to the actual offhand or the deco version of the prefabs. So I'll probably be able to get that done on Monday as well. And then anybody who bought the flambeau decoration or like Mardi Gras item, it's supposed to come with 2 emotes, but it came 2 with the same emote, or 2 emotes of the same one. So I'll get those manually sent out through in-game mail on Monday once we come up with the list.
I see all the boats.
One thing I want to mention with the pod boats, I don't want to keep coming back to it, but if anyone is having problems, have you made sure you've updated to the latest version of the game and restarted, whatever, things like that? Sometimes a mismatch of versions can cause problems. Doesn't sound like it would be in this case, but you never know. Can't hurt to make sure you always have the latest version of the game.
Let's see. How about if I, you guys pick one more question each, if you can find one, or pick one more thing you want to talk about if you don't want to do that. And I will do a rapid read off of the prizes here. Gotta give 3.
Yeah, I have one more thing. I want to brag on behalf of Rick. We put in a new quest in Tanglemire. There's an old couple who, if you go talk to them, they will send John a little sentimental quest. And the reward is, what is it, Rick?
It's I believe the recipe, so there's 2 types of corpses so far that work at public cash chests that you can get a chance of getting when you loot or skin a creature that is possible of swallowing a human whole. It's a big creature. Yeah, so if you want to, you can use them as decoration for your adventure, player created quests and stuff like that, and dungeons. But maybe you instead want the sealed coffin, and you can put them to rest. You take them to your carpentry table, you build a coffin for them. They go inside, of course, simulation there, and throw in a few flowers. And bada bing, bada boom, you've got a sealed coffin that's also a public access chest. And you might recognize that coffin asset that's been around the world, but one thing we noticed when Damon was helping me with that coffin, because the texture was really crappy, and it was just taking it the wrong way. So you'll notice that all those coffins that exist in the world built, adventure scenes and stuff that use that same prefab are looking a lot better now too.
Nice. Yeah, it's when you go into Tanglemire, it's near the center of the little village. It's hard to describe where it is. Actually, if you walk around, you'll see right next to the house. I also added crafting stations, like a milling station and a carpentry station, because these people are carpenters apparently, and sometimes they make coffins.
And then there's the new guide for the baby dragon eggs, or the dragon eggs and the baby dragon conversationalists, which you can get from the NPC in Ulfheim. Am I correct?
Yeah, Ulfheim? He's near the entrance of Ulfheim, the default entrance. So you go in, you'll talk to Kaiser, and just mention egg to him, and he'll hook you up.
Cool.
Something else I added, continuing on with the quest theme, is in Harvest. For those players who do the House on the Hill, you will actually get a special title now when it's all over. If you've already finished the quest, you can go talk to almost any of the kids in Harvest, and they'll award you that title after the fact. I won't spoil the title for people who. I mean, I guess maybe we did spoil it in the updates, but I'm not gonna spoil it here.
There you go. And I'll do another book or a paper document or whatever, so there's been a couple of those lately that summarize some new stuff, like the conversationalist, baby dragon conversationalist. And there was another one or two that kind of describe in an immersive way how to find all these things. I'll do one for the shrines. I think it's going to end up on an imp. Me and Sannio were talking today about how these imps so closely resemble the homunculus. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. In the novels, if you look at Denis Loubet's painting or art illustrations, they look very similar to our imps. And these homunculus in the novel were used for dispatching messages and doing small little, very simple one-line command tasks and stuff. So yeah, you'll eventually get conversationalists for these guys too, because it could be interesting to fabricate simple, interesting dialogues with them. But even though I don't even think in the novel they actually spoke, I think it was just expressions they had on their face or something. But in any case, the concept that they're dispatching messages kind of interests me, because somebody brought up in the forums today, why can't imps have a little bit better loot? And so the fact that you might find an errant homunculus, or maybe just keep calling them imps, I don't know, that has strange little tidbits of information that you can. Oh, there's an imp. I wonder if I can learn something. And you go kill it. Take his information, and maybe you'll get some more info on a quest you're on, or learn about the shrines and say, oh, these obsidian leaders are worried that the avatars have access to these shrines now. Oh no, I don't know, but it'll explain all where you get all the pieces parts for each shrine and all that stuff.
All right, I'm going to do some prizes here.
Ready.
I'm going to read them off. Going rapid fire. Oh, the verdict on the pump is that the pump that is 3 years old, the grinder pump, I know everybody cares about this, just under 3 years old, only has a 1-year warranty, but it completely failed. The last one lasted 14 years, this one lasted less than 3. So we are going to be out about a Lord of the Isle. To put it in player terms, to replace a giant pump in the yard. But anyways, let me read off some prizes here. Let me give some good news. I'm going to call off the prize, and I'll read 3 names rapid fire. You guys ready? Gondola water decoration goes to Lilybird, Angus Piper, and Ray O.T. Center Stone 2-tier outdoor pedestal fountain goes to Red McMiner, Mealy Mayhall, and Prairie Fairy. Ooh, another name I really like. Silver telescope goes to Teoral, Firestone, and Bran. Golden Eagle decoration pet goes to Hawkwind, Warlord Borat, and Anpu. Round Elven greenhouse goes to Versago, Fetid Sir Diddy, and Mondravis Meat Shield. Congratulations to all those people. Sorry, I'm having to watch my door to see when he comes back to give me an estimate.
Congratulations, everyone.
Did you want to read off the fishing prizes, and then I will end us on a low note and sing this out?
Sure. Do you mind if I do a quick blitz too?
Oh yeah, go
for
for
the
it.
Other stuff in the
do it
update.
all.
So also, guys, yes, Aldor, a great adventure scene that just got added now. Also, and yes, we're having some trouble with it in online mode, but the gear patterns are much less restrictive. On, let's say, if you had a one-handed sword pattern, you could only apply it to other one-handed sword items. Well, now it's just it's all based on slot now. So you have bludgeon one-handed, bludgeon two-handed, blades one-handed, blades two-handed, etc., etc. You no longer have to have like a cloth helm. That's a better example. A cloth helm pattern cannot be applied to a plate helm. That's the probably the best way to describe it. And of course, artifacts are in it too. But keep in mind, I think Chris, that's not fixed yet, right?
Which one?
The patterns, that's still an issue?
No, I'm still fighting with that. That one is more complicated than it seems. I've got a test going right now that I'll probably be pushing to QA by morning, but we will see.
And then, of course, we have the shrines of attunement, and each has a corresponding artifact, and you can craft these really complex high-end recipes to get a plus 15 attunement buff every time you visit your shrine. And it persists for 3 days, and then you can have 2 of those buffs at a time. And also look at your offhands, because all 6 of the original ones they all got updated a little bit in stats, I think, except for the Heart of Rule. I think it was the only one that didn't get a stats change. But almost everything was a trade-off. Anything that got reduced, there was a trade-off where it actually had a benefit as well. Like, for instance, Anka Sacrifice, you get a little bit less life attunement, but you don't have the reagent consumption bonus anymore, unless for a short while you had the epic one, then you had a minus 2,500%. Yeah, I put a bug in, sorry about that. So weather control devices are coming very shortly. We'll get the moon tower spun up for that ASAP. Dragon eggs and baby conversationalists, you got those quests, go seek those out from dragons. You get the eggs, you can use that as decoration if you like, or you can get that document from the guy in Ulfheim and learn about how to take these eggs to your alchemy station, get them to hatch, because normally you'd have to wait, long time for these, because dragons, they take a long time to, I guess, to hatch. So, well, now you can take your alchemy station, you get a baby dragon conversationalist, all, 8 varieties. Public cash chest varieties, of course, the corpses and the coffins are available now. You've only got 2 more days for the Lodi sale, and then they will be off the store forever. So keep that in mind. They're on sale 25% off up until the 31st, and then we'll delist them from the store. And then you expect some smaller bundles coming in the future. New store additions, guys. Arrow groupings, 12-pack. A lot of water lily decorations. And, guys, you can get water lily decorations as loot now. I think I put it on the fungus mushroom people, maybe crocodiles. Any swamp-type creature that you can imagine could be stuck to their skin or whatever as they're mucking around in the muck. Well, any creature like that, you might be able to find some water lily decorations that are non-blossoming. We got 4 new types of chandeliers on the store. Damon made these fantastic. One of them are sub rewards, a 2-pack of heart-backed armchairs, and then 2 were also just straight to the store. And a sacrificial altar popped up on the store on release day as well. And I think, other than going through the events, those were the big ticket items. So for events, guys, don't miss out with the Catnip Games fishing tourney. I'll get into who the winners were in just a second. Sorry, I'm going a little slow here. A little disorganized. The new locations for week 39, it's going to be saltwater in the POT areas, and you're going to be fishing in Laned, Valor, Falling Waters Fortress. And then for the PvP location, it's Kos Ruins, and for the lava location, it's Kel Passage. And for, what else do we got here? And Lane is running a spin-off contest for, so if you fish there, you might be able to win a few extra prizes. And then we have the RHEC Traveling Pop-Up Fishing Contest, where they'll just randomly announce it in Universe when they have little contests. Keep an eye out on that for other fishing opportunities. Torque added a Mounts of New Britannia to his second video on the mounts. Please give him a big thank you for that, and his YouTube channel will follow. Given it's a German video, but he goes into a lot of detail about the new mounts in the game. Zeke Trek just recently posted a guide to streaming that some of you might find very helpful if you've been considering getting into streaming. And this is also on the forums. Please give him a thank you. And also, guys, please always give Ampu a big thank you, especially, I mean, he just makes so many guides. And here's his master list of guides. And if you're stuck on something, check to see if he had a guide on it. And of course, if you're looking for other types of guides, we have the player resources always available to you. Right. Yeah. And Baron's Reach is still running an auction on the weekend. So if you're looking to participate in an auction, there you go. And that's it for the events. And now for the contest winners, really quick. For fishing, where'd that go? All right. So for week 38, the fishing contest was freshwater, and it took place in Crafters Town, Riptown Creek, and Rajazel, Verdanta Shardfall, and Oracle Colossus. Asmodi Mule, congratulations. You are the winner of a Player on Town Rollout Deed, no trade, a large gold fishing trophy, and you don't have it already, you'll get a Master Angler fishing title. He fished out a king salmon measuring at 2.586. And I forgot to write down where he fished it from. Ooh. I think he fished that out of Rajazel, actually. And then Proudfoot Underhill fished out a marlin measuring at 3.527 ambiguous units. And he is the winner of 2 Chained Obsidian Shard 3-packs, a large silver fishing trophy, and he also gets the Master Angler title, if you don't have it already. And then Soul, congratulations, with your Plesiosaurus measuring at 7.567 ambiguous units. You're going to win a Fishing Rod of Prosperity, a large bronze fishing trophy, and also a title. Now keep in mind, week 39 will probably be the last weekly fishing tourney. I'm going to do some restructuring with that. Had some input, and so you may get some different prizes to pick from. There may be different durations. There may be some pauses where we don't have a fishing tourney, so that way players can take over that week and stuff. We've had some complaints that we hog up all the tourney time. And also we'll have probably a monthly screenshot contest, and which will couple with a video contest with some fantastic prizes. It's gonna be first, second, third place for video, first, second, third place for screenshot every month, and it's gonna be you can win a Player on Town lot deed for either one, Player on Town village lot deed, Player on Town roll lot deed for third place. So that's 6 deeds potential to win. And it's going to be very less restrictive from the last time I tried to do a screenshot contest. And it's basically going to be make a video or a screenshot of something that you've enjoyed in the last 3 months of like new content and stuff like that. So it'll be pretty vague, and let you guys, just take screenshots as you're doing your normal adventures and just do the new stuff that we've been offering. And that's all I've got. Sorry.
Awesome. I got to show Sannio a bug here. So this is this platform, Sannio, with the statue thingy going on.
Yeah.
Come over here. Okay, yeah. So this is the one Alfane was talking about.
That's right next to where Chris is.
Yeah, that one.
So,
that one right there.
I saw you try and highlight it and it wasn't working, so I'll get that fixed tonight.
Okay, groovy. Yeah, I'll get a patch out probably tomorrow for some things. We'll see if the my stab at what is going on with the patterns fixes it. But right now,
I just said you figure out the boat bug. It's on low detail. Going to do a bug report. Is what he said. With the pod boats on the overworld not being seen.
Okay. And we have, speaking of someone helping get a lot of streamers out there, we've got the Graceful Bard, Den Haru, Mondravis, MFD Soul, Krazoom Plays, Serpentwine, Crispy Car, Captain Knives, Elwin Moon, all of them streaming. Man, I'm going to try to avoid playing favorites with that many people there and just do a roll. I'm doing a roll 8. Bam. And the winner is... Why did that not work? Why are you not working? Roll 8. There we go.
You don't have dice?
6.
How can you be involved in role-playing games and not have just like dice like within his reach?
3, 4, 5, 6. That is Serpentwine. Opulence, I has it. I'm trying to remember. We've had some problems raiding. Is that somebody I've raided recently that had problems? I'm trying to remember. We did some raids and somebody didn't allow chat. Oh, that's right. Serpentwine. Okay, Serpentwine, we raided you recently and it made people sad because they couldn't chat at you. So I'm going to do another roll here. So 7, that's going to be Captain Knives, who is Grind to the Envy Angel. Let's see if he allows chat. Oh, yes, it looks like he allows chat, and he's got 127 followers. I question his taste in shirts, but I'm not going to hold that against him too much. So we're going to give this Captain Knives a raid here. Looks like he's got some good stream quality and might know what he's doing here. Oh, 11 Masters. All right, we'll give him that. Okay, so we're going to do that. Taste in shirts. Let's see. All right, so he's going to get a raid. He will be thrilled, I'm sure. All right, we ready?
Right.
I'm out of tea with a dry throat. That's okay, though. Billy Joel didn't have that great of a voice anyways. Here we go. You ready? This is for John Marcus. You can always thank him for these songs at the end here. She can kill with a smile. She can wound with her eyes. She can ruin your faith in her casual lies. And she only reveals what she wants you to see. She hides like a child, but she's always a woman to me. She can lead you to love. She can take you or leave you. She can ask for the truth, but she'll never believe you. And she'll take what you give her as long as it's free. Yeah, she steals like a thief, but she's always a woman to me. Oh, she takes care of herself. She can wait if she wants. She's ahead of her time. And we're about to get sent out there. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. Hope you enjoyed the build. We will get some of these bugs fixed. See ya. And we're gone.
What a week.
I actually did have a lot to talk about this time.
Yep. A lot of
How'd
good
you get
questions
on?
for you. This was a fun stream.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, it looks like probably 4,500 is what that is going to cost us. After just paying 4,500 3 years ago.
Oh,
Wow, that sucks.
gosh. And that's just replacing the pump, and is there a lot of labor, or?
It's some labor, mostly the physical pump.
Yeah, it's like a pump like a sump pump that also has like a grinder in it.
Yeah, it's like a sump pump grinder thing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I should probably end the stream here because I think some people. Can they choose not to raid?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they can.
Yeah, there's probably some people in there listening too. So, hi guys, yeah, you want to hear about my sump pump? Yeah, it sucks. Sucks. It's horrible. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Bye guys. Be safe.
Yeah.